This is a review of the Ruby White trailer. This is not the same as the analysis video. That will be a separate video. If you haven't seen the Ruby White trailer, yeah, you might want to go do that. It's on the Rooster Teeth website, and it's free. As always, please support the official release of the series. Last week, I kicked off my retrospective series with the Ruby Red trailer. For a brief recap, I mentioned that the 4 character trailers in the series had 3 goals in mind. They were as follows: to introduce the 4 main girls, to teach the viewer how to enjoy combat in the series, and to give viewers a taste of the world through the eyes of these characters. As I said last time, hindsight for the series is 20/20. Retrospection matters. My love of the Ruby series didn't come until I saw the release of the Ruby White trailer and the introduction to Weiss Schnee. If Ruby's trailer is all about sentimentality and holding the things you cherish the most close to your heart, then the trailer for Weiss is all about the rejection of emotional sentiment. It's about leaving behind childish whimsy and losing one's own identity in the process. Don't believe me? Let's take a look. The trailer opens slowly, and a quote flashes across the screen. The quote reads like this: "Everyone is entitled to their own sorrow, for the heart has no metrics or form of measure, and all of it irreplaceable." Then a spotlight shows overhead. The garbled mutterings of an announcer calls her name. The audience cheers as a white-haired woman takes the stage. Her face is elegant, but there's a slender scar blemishing her skin over one eye. She's dressed in white with a splash of red and a hint of black. Her expression stays serious in front of the crowd. The soft flutterings of a piano begins to play as the crowd cheers. By this point in the trailer, less than 30 seconds into it, I had already found myself captivated by Weiss as a character. Where the Ruby Red trailer failed to instantly grab my attention, the Ruby White trailer had captured me from the very beginning. Weiss looks out to the crowd. She takes a breath and closes her eyes. Then the song begins in earnest. Unlike Ruby's song that was merely playing as a musical backdrop and only had a few lyrics, this time Weiss is performing her personal story for the world to see. Her song, known as Mirror Mirror, is a testament that Jeff Williams and Casey Lee Williams really know how to make a soundtrack shine. This song is probably one of the saddest for the soundtrack of the original first volume of Ruby. As the song plays, Weiss is shown to be singing, although her actual voice actress didn't do the vocals. The woman singing is Casey Lee Williams. The trailer turns into a flashback as Weiss continues to sing, her eyes still closed. The camera pans lower and the stage fades to black. A reflection of Weiss glows from the dark abyss as she stands atop it. If you haven't noticed by now, this is a far deeper and far more introspective sort of trailer on its face. This makes sense. Weiss is the most reserved of the main 4 girls. She's cold, almost needlessly cruel in the first volume of the series. However, that's well and truly a facade at best. Without this trailer for character context, which I'll get to in a moment, Weiss would be little more than a complete and total ass during all of Volume 1. Episodes like The Stray, and notably the episode Black and White, which is the Volume 1 final, rely on this trailer. It explains everything about Weiss and her eventual blind acceptance of Blake. The reason is because Weiss isn't actually an ass. She doesn't carry all the hyperbolic thoughts and feelings she's expected to have. She spouts them, but they're not real. The trailer is a looking glass into all of it. Literally, it gives us all of her key struggles and allows us to see the girl behind the Schnee family mask. Anyway, at this point her eyes are still closed. It is now implied that anything beyond this point is a flashback of a memory. When her eyes open, kneeling in front of her is a gigantic armored knight. It bows to her in reverence, as if she were its queen. Then it stands to its full height, grasping its sword as the tempo of the music changes. No longer just a soft piano melody with gentle singing. String instruments and percussion are added into the mix. The soft classical music begins taking on a new urgency as Weiss faces down her opponent. Swords clash as Weiss faces down this armored giant, deftly avoiding his blade. Her combat is almost like a dancer's grace. She continues flitting around the arena floor like a ballerina. She uses her sword with frontal swings and forward jabs just like a fencer. Weiss relies on a complex mix of pure skill, dust, and her semblance to gain the upper hand. As I said before, the trailers build upon each other. In Ruby's trailer, combat was the thing breaking the fourth wall. For Weiss, it's the lyrics of her song. That's what breaks the fourth wall instead. This is her personal story. She's telling us who she really is as a person, and she's not going to wait for us to figure it out. Just like how she treats Ruby in Volume 1, she's not going to dumb herself down for our sake. The lyrics are poetic and layered in symbolism. I will speak about that in the analysis of this trailer, which is a separate video. For now, let's just focus on the poetic storytelling at play. Viewers need to stand on Weiss's level emotionally and understand what she's telling us. We viewers are the mirror she's talking to. It's not just that she's talking to herself. She wants to be heard. She has asked us if we can hear her in the song directly. She's asked us if she needs us, because we're that mirror. She's not sure if her own merits are good enough. She wants to be taken seriously. She feels that she isn't. She feels that she is somehow inferior. Now, this is exactly what the Ruby trailer referenced in regards to the color white. While those lyrics were a factual statement, Weiss attempts to explain those facts in a poetic and lyrical way, using ambiguity. Ruby's trailer is self-assured and confident. She knows she wants to be a huntress, and she's ready to show off what she can accomplish. Weiss is far less sure of herself. She wants the validation of others, but she's afraid to ask for it. So she's asking us, the proverbial mirror. Her faster and far more ruthless combat is an undertone to this as well. While Ruby shows us a fight that's fun, Weiss shows us one that's necessity. Weiss needs to fight this battle. It isn't a choice. It's an obligation, like so many other things in her life. Unfortunately for Weiss, she's still just a teenager trying to pretend she's an adult. The adult world of Remnant will bring her down a few pegs, and so does the knight that she's fighting. She cannot stand on the world stage alone and hope to succeed that way. She needs others. She needs a place to belong. In spite of her skills, this isn't enough to stop the knight from countering every attack she lands on him. Finally, he swats her aside like a paper doll. She lands on the ground looking disheartened, defeated, and bleeding. Then the scene fades to black and Weiss is on stage again. Slowly she opens her eyes. Haunting operatic vocals fill the air as the moon overhead appears from behind dark clouds. Weiss is still young, and just like Ruby, she's a dreamer of bigger and better things. It's just that those dreams don't align with the world as she currently understands it. Her memories and expectations hold her down. She's asking us, the viewers, if she can really stand a chance to reach for her dreams, if she's even worthy of those dreams at all. Her eyes close again, and her memory continues. The flashback of how she got the scar in the first place is fresh in her mind. The knight is ready for more, and Weiss lifts herself up from the ground. There's blood on her face and determination in her eyes. Weiss won't let herself be put down from a little thing like a head injury. Instead, she prepares herself for another clashing of blades. She's smarter this time, going on the defensive and waiting for the right moment to take him down. The song changes tempo again. This time, it's not haunting, it's empowering. She prepares her weapon, adjusting her stance, and strikes. A flurry of dust shimmers with every attack, a wave of ice spiking up from the ground as she returns the armored knight's attack tenfold, effectively disarming him. Then it's time for her final attack. She readies her glyphs and the dust inside of her sword. Trapping the knight, she sends herself flying into the air, slicing a pinpoint attack into the knight. This turns him into a powder like snow. Sparkles of this now defeated knight fall onto the stage as she finishes her song. The blood on her face fades away, and she opens her eyes and looks around as if trying to remember where she is. The crowd cheers for her. When you saw this trailer the first time, you probably cheered a little too. even if it was just to yourself and done quietly. I know that I did. That's because in the context of the series, Weiss is a person worth cheering for. She's worth her dreams and her ambitions. She wants to hear that cheering. She wants us, the mirror, to tell her that she's worth it. That's what makes her so relatable, even as early as the trailer itself. Everyone wants to be told they're worth something, that they've done a good job. Everyone wants just that one moment of satisfaction. That one thing that nobody can take away from them, because they've earned that success themselves. That they are worthy of standing upon the world stage, accepted based on their own achievements. In that way, Weiss resonates with that small part of humanity. We are the mirror she's talking to, and we give her just that tiniest glimmer of hope. Weiss looks out towards the audience, and she offers her final bow. Her reflection is still there, a mirror image upon the floor. Only she can see it. The curtains close and the trailer ends. It's as though, through the eyes of the viewer, she finally sees her true self. The person she really wants to be. The person she can become. The Ruby White trailer is a showcase of characterization at its finest. A lot of fans claim that Weiss is one of the most interesting characters in the series, at least on her own merits. I wholeheartedly agree. In this trailer, we're given far more depth to her character than we ever saw in the Ruby Red trailer. This trailer is built upon everything we were told previously, and it extrapolates upon all of it. The thing is, Ruby's trailer focuses more on factual information. For Weiss, her trailer is almost entirely emotional. The fight was in her point of view. The song and the lyrics reflect that as well. The song stands in a league of its own, and the animation is absolutely fitting, and the fight is captivating from start to finish. All in all, this trailer is my absolute favorite one in the early volumes. I love this thing. However, objectively, I wouldn't actually say it's the best trailer we received. No, in my opinion, that credit goes to the Ruby Black trailer featuring Blake Belladonna. It is the textbook definition of what a trailer should be. Join me next time as I cover Blake's trailer. You won't want to miss it. Do you want more content until then? Did you know that Christian and I have a Twitch account? We stream games every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Sometimes I stream solo on off days. We also have a Twitter account and a blog. There are links in the description. Please check them out and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting our content. If you'd like to become a patron member yourself, the link is in the description. This is Kern, and you've been watching The Demented Ferrets, where stupidity is at its finest and level grinds are par for the course. I'll catch you in the next video. See you there.